Hi, so if you're a Taurus born April 20th to May 20th, what can you expect for the month of November 2015? Let's tune in and find out. So Taurus, you're going to find yourself speaking up this month. You're going to find yourself kind of coming out of your shell. Taurus are generally very cooperative people. I know you can be really stubborn, but you can also be very team-like, right? Like there's an ability to be team-like. And you're going to find yourself speaking up about things that aren't working for you this month and about things that have been kind of swept under the rug. You're going to start to expose them. So I see you this month being, I don't want to say fed up, but just being inspired to awaken other people, being inspired to show other people the way. So there's this sort of inspiration or this welling inside of you to say how it is in your view. Okay, now that can be a dangerous thing if you're wrong, or if your viewpoint is not shared by others, or your viewpoint is skewed in the wrong direction, which can actually happen this month with the influence of the planet Neptune towards the end of the month, okay? So let's focus first on relationships for partnership, okay? For those of you that have been in a committed romantic relationship, let's look and see what you can expect for the month of November. So there may be some miscommunication in your relationship that happens. I mean, okay, there's a part of me that goes, what's new about that, right? Because everybody has miscommunications. But this is something that has an opportunity to kind of get blown out of proportion, or it's a bigger deal than usually. So in other words, you could overreact. There's an opportunity for you to overreact when your partner makes this, misunderstanding. So what you want to do is you just want to notice your relationships this month with your partner, and just kind of keep it in the back of your mind. Don't overreact. Don't overreact. I mean, that should be your mantra this month: is don't overreact. Like just listen, right? So every sign has kind of got different marching orders, and yours is don't overreact. Just listen. And because you're going to see that your perspective is skewed, you're going to be a little bit off, and the potential is there. I'm not saying it will happen, but the potential is there for you to be a little bit off that way. Now, on the positive side, your partner is very happy with some of the opportunities that are going to show up this month, and so it feels like, if there's a weight in the relationship, it's you this month. Like you're the one who's not quite so happy in the relationship this month. And it could just be more because there's an expectation that isn't met, or things aren't set up the way that you want. So it has to do with a disappointment, has to do with an expectation that you have about how it looks. So the best thing that you can do, Taurus, is to really be more free-flowing, which is hard, right? Because you guys are kind of like the salt of the earth. So I'm asking you to be something you're not. I'm asking you to be a little more, kind of like just go with it, just roll with it. But you can, and it'll be good practice for you. So if you're able just to kind of roll with it, you'll have a much better relationship with your partner this month. Okay, so let's look for those of you who are single this month, who are looking for love. What can you expect? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of fireworks at the end of the month. I just want to understand what these fireworks mean. Okay, so it's a lot of overstimulation. So it could be that old adage, when it rains, it pours. So all of a sudden you're meeting 4 or 5 people, or 2 or 3 people, and you haven't talked to anybody in months, and then all of a sudden you meet a bunch of people at the same time. So it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of fun, or it's just that one person and boom, it just takes off like that. So you want to be careful, because like with fireworks, everything fizzles out, right? Boom, big explosion, crackle, 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 nothing. Okay, so I'm really not seeing this as a sustainable love. I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. But you want to, again, err on the side of caution with this, because we have the Neptune energy, which is that planet, that lives in kind of like la la land, fairy tale land, doesn't really have their feet on the ground, not really practical. So, could be that you fall in love with somebody overseas or out of state, and, and they're on the East Coast, you're on the West Coast, you both have careers, it's just like, okay, what are you thinking? Like, you just met. Why would you try to reorganize your life? Like, right? So it's kind of like a illogical love but it's a welling and a compelling, because it's filled with all of that Neptune energy, which is so delicious and so yummy. And so like, it's where you just see the sky and you go, wow, isn't it beautiful? And there's shooting stars, and, so it's all that, where you've got the stars in your eyes, right? It's that whole really falling in love, but it comes with a rude awakening, because it's not really real. There's some misconceptions that are going to be happening around this time. So be careful, Taurus. Enjoy yourself. Just don't give yourself away, okay? And stay true to yourself, and don't meet somebody and then move overseas with them, right? Don't meet somebody and then quickly, quit your job and move in. And people are going to be doing this, right? Because they're not going to be thinking, and crazy things are going to be happening. Don't be one of them. All right? Just fair warning. Okay, now let's look at your career and money, Taurus. So some of you are in a resting mode, like you work so hard to get up to the mountain, and you're like halfway there, and you're feeling a little satisfied. But what you're going to find out is that there's going to be some changes around your work, some things that are adjustments that need to happen. This is actually a good thing, because there may be some new opportunities that come to you, where some of you may even find that part of your company is being sold, or a division is being, cut down, and you're going to be fine. You may be asked to take a bigger role. You may be asked to, to all of a sudden become a manager, or to run a certain division, or maybe even have an opportunity to move and open up something. So there's some nice big movement for you in your career, Taurus. I like it a lot. I like there's big opportunity for you with your career. So, and this is not, this is something that is stable. I'm talking about within your own, like something you already know. If it's something that's brand new, shows up, new company, you've never heard from them and don't even know who they are, and all of a sudden they want to pay you, this extraordinary amount of money and want you to move, and you got to be there tomorrow. That's what you need to be careful of, that sort of thing. But I'm feeling something really good that is really solid, that you already know about and you're already aware of. So that's really, really good. There may be a lot of action for a lot of you in commercial area. It has to do with commercial, has to do with business, has to do with contracts and money. So really good opportunity this month to make things happen. It's a really, this is one of those months that Taurus love, because it's work, and but you get things done. There's a lot of action with this month. So it's an exciting month, Taurus, because you actually accomplish a lot, and that feels really, really good. So I like it a lot. And then the money's right there with it. So you got the money coming in, you're making deals, you're making things happen. So it's really good. It's just towards that end of the month where I'm getting a little bit of a headache, like it's like, whoa, too much information, and it's not all accurate, right? So you want to be careful around that time. Okay, let's look at your health, Taurus. Some of you may have some scheduled surgeries planned for the month. Not a problem. It feels like it's fine. If I could do it, I would do it in the beginning of the month, right? As opposed to the end of the month, where that little bit of illusion is. Because again, some of you could be misdiagnosed, with that energy. So you want to be careful about misdiagnosis. I'm feeling a lot of a heart or chest constriction. So if you're dealing with that, just know that if it's something that you've already had, that's already been going on, you're fine. You'll get it figured out. If it crops up towards the end of the month, just be aware that what you're diagnosed may not be what it actually is. All right, so just have that awareness that there's this illusion again towards that end of the month. That full moon is November 25th, and it's a full moon in Gemini, which isn't the issue. That's a really happy, generally, Geminis are really happy-go-lucky people. My dad's a Gemini, my son's a Gemini. They're easy. I've got some really good friends who are Geminis. They're really great upbeat individuals. It's the other energy that's going around that makes me feel constricted, that's at odds, right? Like a little bit like oil and water kind of energy that's causing me a little bit of constriction. So it's as I was saying before, to maybe a different sign, it's kind of like a round peg in a square hole kind of energy. So just be aware that around that time, if there is some health issues that go on, that you just want to be cautious before you want to get other opinions and let some time go by. Of course, unless it's an emergency situation, you have to handle it, right? You have to handle it right then and there, and that's where you use your higher consciousness and your energy and connecting with God, and just say, it's all fine, it's all good. We'll get through this right and perfect. Now, a lot of you won't even have to deal with any health issues, right? This is for the very few small segment of you that may be on that path. So I don't want you to go, oh my God, I'm gonna, no. This is for a very smooth, this is in the potential, meaning there's a potential for that to happen. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen. And you can avoid those things. Most of them you can avoid by handling your emotional work, working on yourself, handling the things that you need to be handling for yourself, that we usually consider our pain in the neck and we want to avoid, right? Okay, anything else for Taurus for the month? Yeah, there may be some nice surprises for you around the 5th. It could be anything from an unexpected visitor, somewhere from the 5th to the 10th, an unexpected visitor that's going to make you happy. And it may even come with some gifts. There may be unexpected gifts that show up for no reason, but just an acknowledgement and appreciation of who you are. All right, Taurus, I'm going to end on that high note. It's always good to end on something positive. And I appreciate you listening to my intuitive astrology. And if you like it, please share it with your friends. And I'll connect with you again next month.